Howdy all, welcome to part 38. This particular episode is kind of noteworthy because something happens in this episode that quite frankly should have happened friggin' ages ago, but yeah. I apologise if this part turns out to be shorter than... What? Did Takeru just call Patamon an idiot? Now this episode starts with a bit of a bang. Takeru and Patamon have an argument again, and Patamon storms off. These guys argue too much. Well, it's your fault for calling Patamon an idiot. You know, the same Digimon that, you know, saved your life. Talk about ungrateful. Anyway, like I was saying earlier, if this part turns out to be a little bit shorter than the average part that I do, then I do apologise, but hopefully it won't be. We'll see how things pan out. So, we're with Yamato and Takeru on this particular episode. And there's a bunch of people we can talk to. They don't really say anything of, you know, use, but you have to talk to them in order to proceed. If you talk to this guy, though, you can get a chance to rank up with Takeru, and that's kind of handy. Option 1. And that's a rank up. So, just to clarify that. And there's this lady you can talk to as well, but like I say, none of the people have anything worthwhile saying, but you've got to talk to them in order to advance the plot. Nobody's seen a weird hamster bat. That's what happens when you call your friend an idiot. They get pissed off and basically tell you to go fuck yourself. Anyway, we are now introduced to Pumpmon and Gotsumon. And they are little troublemakers. They do work for Vamdemon though, so you can't underestimate them. I saw these guys and thought, oh god, they're going to be cakewalks. No. These guys are not cakewalks, but we're not going to fight them yet anyway. We do confront them, but every time we do, they're just like, they run off like pussies. And that certainly doesn't help your perception of them, it just makes you think that they're going to be cakewalks to bring down, but really, they're not. When you actually do get into the fight with them, they are a little bit tougher. And you'll see that when we get to the fight. I would say though, before you you know, in the part where you have to go and chat to all the people, make sure that Gabumon's got all the, you know, Gabumon and Patamon have all the Digichips that you want on them. You know, defense in terms of Patamon and defense and SP for Gabumon, especially SP, because I don't know if it was just me, but I found myself running out of SP very quickly during this fight. Well, this upcoming fight, I should say. So, Pumpmon and Gotsumon just keep running away. Anyway, it's worth pointing out, these guys aren't really bad guys. They're just out to have fun. Definitely not what Vamdemon will be looking for in a servant, but... well, that'll come back and bite them on the arse later on. Oh, come on, Yamato. All they want is an ice cream. In a hot summer, really? Is it so wrong for them to want an ice cream? Face palm. Why do I have to chase these idiots? There they are. Literally right next to the ice cream truck. So how could you have not seen them just run over there and do fuck all? Honestly, they're not hurting anyone. But obviously, at the same time, they've got to make sure that they don't hurt anyone because they do work for Vamdemon. It could be a disguise. You know, an act. Well, I suppose this is a good pre-battle strategy. Make him chase after you. Oh god, Patamon. So now we've got to go and chase Patamon. I don't think the game really gives any indication as to why Takeru calls Patamon an idiot. But I think in the anime he made like some kind of remark about Yamato and Takeru that Takeru took offence to. And Mr. Smiley is here again. And he's not happy. And he's basically saying, you know what, stop mucking around, kill those kids. So unfortunately, next time we run into these guys, they're going to fight us. Because Vamdemon's being a douchebag. You know, typical bad villain. Kill, kill, kill. If you don't kill, I will, and I will kill you. Anyway, we're reunited with Patamon. He's still pissed. So Takeru apologises. Patamon's like slowly turns around without moving his legs at all, and it's like, okay, I forgive you. Well, now that that squabble's been sorted out, we now get the task of fighting these two. Like I said earlier, they look like they're not up to much, that they're going to be a really easy fight. No, don't underestimate these guys. They're not easy to bring down. They're not hard to bring down, but they're you know, they're pretty defensive, particularly Pumpmon. And Pumpmon can also dish out a fair chunk of damage as well. Gotsumon's not so much of a problem compared to Pumpmon. So let's get into this. So now we're going to battle these guys. I'm going to be honest, I failed the first attempt because Gabumon ran out of SP, which is why I suggest it is important that you sort out your Digichips before entering this battle. My L button was sort of working at this point. It's taken a few tries to get it to work, but it was working, which was better than nothing. I would highly recommend going after Pumpmon first, because look at how much damage the bastard does. It does an awful lot of damage. I would focus mainly on getting, you know, sorting out Patamon's defences and let Garurumon do most of the attacking. And like I say, go after Pumpmon first, because he's the one that can hit hardest. I also have the 2000 HP healing move on Patamon. That should also help matters. I really don't plan on attacking with Patamon. He's just going to be there to, you know, deal as like, well, maybe attack every now and then, but mostly just focus on healing and boosting defense. Because let's face it, Garurumon is a pretty decent ultimate, but he's not the most defensive, and he gets through SP ridiculously quickly. I mean, look. He's already got 67 SP points left. So I'm having to resort to slightly weaker attacks And literally that pumpkin attack hurts pretty darn bad. So that's why I say go for Pumpmon first. Get rid of him. Because he's the one that's going to hit hard. Like I said, I found this fight a lot harder than what I actually initially expected. Moves like this is probably going to come in handy though. You know, tag moves. Doing everything in my power to keep Garurumon healed now because, yeah. I'm not so worried about Gotsumon, but it's this bastard. Get rid of Pumpmon and the fight should be significantly easier. Pumpmon is the biggest threat here. So I'm just going to boost defense on Garurumon. That's definitely going to help, hopefully. Not that I think Gotsumon's going to do much in any case, but, you know. Like I say, Garurumon gets through SP so quickly, so I would recommend having Digichips put onto him to stop SP from running out so quickly. And, yeah. Fuck it, I'm just going to go for it. The only other way you can possibly get a skill attack off of him now is if he and Takeru do like some kind of bond, you know, joint team attack thing. I do have this attack, which I don't know what that does, other than just hurts him. So I'm going to heal up Patamon, because Patamon's going to need it. Now I could use an SP item, but at the same time, that would be kind of a waste. It's kind of annoying in this fight because the team action always happens with Patamon, and Patamon can't do fuck all even with team action. I wanted the team action to switch that it took place with Garurumon and not with Patamon, which is really fucking annoying. But thankfully, team action did actually happen with Garurumon eventually, which took a huge chunk off of Gotsumon. But like I say, Gotsumon's not really the problem here, Pumpmon is. Get rid of Pumpmon, use your skill moves on Pumpmon. There shouldn't really be that many concerns with Gotsumon. He's a little bit defensive, but not as much as Pumpmon is, and Pumpmon also hits harder, so that's why you really want to go and take him out first. Gotsumon's nothing in comparison. Whoa, Patamon's actually stronger than Gabumon. That's okay. So you take care of that fight, and these two are just like, well, we were only doing what we're told. We don't really want to fight you guys. You know, they're just two guys out having fun. Kind of makes me wonder what the fuck they were doing in Vamdemon's army to begin with, but maybe they just saw it as like an opportunity to go to a new world and have different adventures. Up to them at the end of the day. But these guys are alright, really. Unfortunately, when you work for Vamdemon, Mr. Smiley, it's not really an option to muck around. Oh god. So in spite of the fact that these guys are actually really cool, Vamdemon kills them both. In the dub version, he sent them back to the... They said he sent them back to his dungeon in the digital world. Bollocks! He kills them! The kids wouldn't have acted so upset about the fact that they got sent back if they'd known they were going to be alive. The fact of the matter is, he killed them. The dub was just too scared to come out and say so. And yet, you see other Digimon die in Digimon Adventure and nothing. And oh my god! Is it finally happening? God, I've been bitching and moaning about this for long enough. And it's finally happening! We're getting Angemon back! How freaking long did they make us wait for this? Oh my word. It's about friggin' time. That's all I'm gonna say. And even though Angemon's not going to reach his ultimate form for a very freaking long time, it doesn't really matter that much because he's still a very powerful champion. He's probably on target roughly with the other ultimates. Anyway, Vamdemon must have sensed a threat because he ran away like a little pussy. And yeah, I get it. Pumpmon and Gotsumon are dead. And it wasn't your fault, it was Vamdemon's. He's a dick. That episode kind of ends on a rather solemn note. But nonetheless, we have Angemon back! That's good news! About fucking time. Anyway, subquest time. So it's a hot day, and they can't take it. Well, I can't say I blame them. The weather over here has been ridiculously hot, and man, oh man, oh man, I can't bloody take it. So I feel like just being whining and complaining all the time just because the heat's been making me really irritable. I can't blame these two, not in the slightest. Anyway, this subquest is really, really easy, really simple. These guys are going to head over to the tower where the girls fought Death Meramon in the last part. Because there's air conditioning here. If only it was so easy to access air conditioning over here. I can't afford it. And let's face it, it's not normally hot enough to normally warrant having an aircon unit. It's just out of nowhere, this summer's been blazing hot. And I know that there's some people who really, really love it, but as a hay fever sufferer, I've absolutely hated every minute. I'm kind of glad that it's starting to die down now. Anyway, this subquest sees us facing this ugly fucker again. Because of course facing Death Meramon wasn't enough. We now have to face the original Meramon, who is nowhere near as strong as Death Meramon. I don't know. I'm presuming he's confused due to the heat, if I remember reading somewhere. And he attacks. Or maybe he's saying, how dare you hate the heat. You wouldn't be bitching. You'd be bitching if it was winter, you'd be bitching if it was summer. Nothing ever makes you happy. We don't get heat like this very often. You should enjoy it instead of bitching and moaning. And I probably don't need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Bring out Metal Greymon. Bring it on, bitch. Take this. And this guy is really not that hard. The other subquest, on the other hand, has quite a tough boss fight. But this one is a joke, really. You shouldn't have any problems with this. He'll go down pretty quickly. Die! Crikey. He's doing nothing to me. I'm loving this. He's got counter, but that means fuck all. He's still not doing anything to me. Take this and get out of my face, you bloody hot bastard. Okay. And with that... that ends that subquest. But what are we going to do about the heat? All I'm going to say is that Maramon's probably not helping with the heat. It's too hot, piss off. What are they talking about Yukidarimon for? Is this the same Meramon from Vile Island? I don't know. Someone want to clarify that for me, because I actually haven't got the foggiest. But anyway, that subquest is really simple, really quick, really easy. You shouldn't have any troubles with it. The next one, on the other hand, well, be prepared. That's all I'm going to say.